G'day guys and welcome back. I'm Razini16. I'm here today to bring you episode 17 of Gunning for Glory. Now, we had a pretty good last episode. We got 2 wins out of 2, which means we are literally 1 win away from winning the title. Now, having 2 games in hand in this episode, we should be able to get to it and win our 4th, consecutive title in a row, which would be great for also getting a bit of extra coin to spend out to get some of the more expensive players, especially like Koscielny or Cazorla. But just going through and just adjusting the team fitness. It didn't save obviously when I finished at the end of last episode, but just gonna have to suck it up. It's only a couple of seconds work anyway, and we managed to get a full side out of it. So we're gonna jump straight into the game, and hopefully we can win with the full Arsenal side in. Going into the first game, guys, we come up against this really nice 100 chem Italian/Russian/English side. Very interesting mix of players in there, very unusual, not something you see very often in Ultimate Team. I don't know of anyone who really uses the Russian League, but I reckon it was mainly because you just wanted to get that Hulk in there maybe. I'm not too sure, but we got into this game and this was a very frustrating game. I was getting very annoyed. There was many swear words said and controllers thrown, but we did have many chances in this game to easily put the game to rest, but we didn't really play to the best of our ability. I was pretty, how do I say, not clinical. So like when I did have the chances, I didn't utilize them to the best of my ability, where I could have easily slotted into the back of the net. I either tried to do too much, or he somehow got a player in the way, or my own player got in the bloody way. But it didn't take him too long before he managed to get a really nice goal into the top corner. Now, it was a well done play. He definitely deserved the goal. I'm not trying to deny him that at all. But from this point onwards, the game got even more frustrating. Already being a goal down when I need to win to get the title. I do have a game in hand at this point, but I still would like to do it straight away. And I really felt like I shouldn't have let that goal in. I should have defended a lot better. But there's nothing you can do. We pop into halftime. Stats are pretty in his favour. If not, they're pretty even. But I felt like I was much more dominant to him. Yeah, it shows that he was much more dominant. But also, you know, sometimes them games in the stats never actually resemble what the game was actually like, and I felt like I was pretty hard done by those stats. I felt like I had a lot more opportunities, but obviously opportunities that don't end in shots don't actually go in the stats. So, oh well, we're going to jump into the second half. Hopefully we can get a goal or 2 back. Even if we can salvage a draw, it means we only have to draw the next game to get the title, but not too long into it, and we do actually manage to get the equaliser. A nice goal from Ox. Nice finesse shot outside the box. I love doing them. They're always going to go in. But from this point on, it was just downhill from here. Now, he wasn't really dominant. He just had very lucky chances, as you'll see here. Should have tackled him. Should have cleared it. Gets outside the box. Does one of them shots that you know he's never going to be able to get stopped. Didn't really mind that one. That was an alright shot. Don't want to be too critical of it, but there's nothing I can really do there, and I felt like I did all I could to try and stop it. So, frustrating as it can be, we're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. His next goal, however, was very frustrating. This was absolutely shit goalkeeping. I don't know what the hell Ospina was doing. Straight over his head. He's off his line. He's halfway up to the halfway line, so I don't even know what the keeper's doing off his line. But that pretty much sealed the game there. There was no chance of us coming back. We had plenty of opportunities, but we just could not get any. And as you'll see in the highlights, there's so many chances gone by where players just derped and missed, or just couldn't get into the right position, and it was just very frustrating. But we do manage to get a nice header goal back with Welbeck, but that's about all we get from this game, unfortunately. And another big unfortunately for us also means we go into this last game next having to win, because it is the last game of the season and we do need a win to get the title. If we do not win the next game, then we do not win the title and we break our perfect streak. Now, I wasn't too worried at this point. I was fairly confident that if we did come up an opponent, I should be able to get over him. I haven't been playing the best, but I still should be. Surely you're not going to have like 2 absolutely trash games in a row, but we get the fitness right and we're going to jump straight into this one. So the second team we're going to come up against is another nice 100 chem side. It's a very interesting mix. It's half Premier League, half French, and then just random Brazilian player in there and a random Italian player. Very interesting mix. Wasn't too phased by the team. I didn't see anything too spectacular, but then again, that should be a worry because that means that he must be an alright player. But not too long into the game, he does get a break on goal. Now, my defense was again all over the place, not in the right places, and just pulling too far at the pitch. He gets a nice tramp in, and he's never going to miss that. And again, we're down a goal in a game that we have to win. And This was another game exactly like the last one where I was very dominant, I had the chances, but I couldn't finish. And even when I got to a position where I could finish, my own player stood in the way. But we go into halftime. It wasn't really an eventful first half, but you can see by the stats, absolutely all over me. But he was definitely a stat booster. He was shooting from all over the place. And, like, while the stats are in his favour, and I don't want to take that away from him, he did deserve to be winning, and he did have more shots than that. I reckon only half of them were actually, like, realistic shots. But we go into the second half, again, down, and we just need to try and keep our head straight, take our time, and just get our way into it. But as you can see by the hearts in the background, it's just miss after miss. Second half, I had complete dominance. I don't think he had actually a decent shot at all. Situations like that, where any other game, I bet you he would have scored, but just because I needed him to, he wasn't going to, and it was very frustrating. I did get very mad and actually break one of my controllers in this game. It was a very annoying game, and I definitely felt really hard done by losing this because we had more than enough opportunities to tuck it away and we just couldn't. And I am sorry I lied, he did have a shot in the second half because he actually does get a second goal. A piece of shitty defending by my side. Definitely should have tackled him 2 or 3 times, and I don't know how the slowness of that shot went in, but it somehow managed to, and that was the point where I actually cracked the shits and threw the controller, and we did get one back from there, but it was in extra time, so there's nothing we could really do to salvage this game, so we're just going to have to live with the fact that we're not going to win the title, but we still get promotion, which is good, so we're into Division 5, so I reckon maybe the next episode or the one after, I might actually do a foot draft. As I said earlier in the season, I said I would do that when I get to Division 5 as players begin to get more expensive for Arsenal, and we're going to maybe need it to do it, and it'll be a nice change of pace just to distract us off this for a game. So that'll be something I'll do maybe in the next few episodes, but end of game stats shows you pretty much the same thing at halftime. He was dominant. We don't get the title, unfortunately, but we still do get 5,000 coins, I believe, and we do get promotion. So we're going to jump in and buy our player for this episode. Now, I was in an absolutely filthy mind state losing that game, and I was not happy, so I went straight into the transfer market and I bought Cazorla. I felt my midfield was probably one of the biggest points for letting me down. I can't blame it all in the defence because the passing in the midfield was just absolutely killing me, and Cazorla's the best man for that, except for maybe Ozil, but he's way out of my price range at the moment. And I also want him for free kicks. Sandy Cazorla's, I love him for free kicks. He's one I always take it with, so hopefully we can actually sink some of them in the future. But that is going to complete the episode for today, guys. We just chuck Cazorla in and just make sure the team's good for the next episode. But that is going to draw episode 17 to an end. Unfortunately, we didn't get the title, but we're into Div 6 nonetheless. So Div 5, sorry, not Div 6. So we're well on the way to actually maybe even finishing this series, hopefully. But we need to pull our thumbs out and play a lot better games than we just did.